relationship with my parents were better. My relationship with my friends were better. So everything was getting a lot better. That's when I realized, wow, this Soho thing, it's working. Like, no wonder why all these women are so successful. So every annual meeting, every manager meeting, the day before, I write questions. Because I want to learn everything. I want to learn everything from every owners out there so that I could be like that. I could accept their strategy and then make it mine. So the first few years I was working really hard, and I was making really good money too because I was making my goal almost every month. I bought a new car within 2 months after I was working at Soho, so I was happy and I was very excited. But then in 2015, I got a surgery. I had to go to the emergency room, and it wasn't something I was expecting, and it was genetic. And I had to pay for the bill, and whatever the money I saved to be an owner, I have to put it in that. But I didn't give up because I love working for Soho. I didn't want to give up, so I was like, I still have more years, so I'll just save little by little. It's okay. You're not done here. And then a month after I got a surgery, Ms. Heron called me, and she said, I have an opportunity to take over Mall of America location. Do you want to go? And I was like, oh, fine. You live once, right? Okay, I'll go. So a month after my surgery, my parents didn't want me to go because I just got a surgery and I had to move to a state that I don't have a family. And when I went to Mall of America, when I moved to Minnesota, the loneliness was really a lot harder than I thought it was because I didn't have a family. I didn't have friends. I didn't have anybody. I come home, I work, I come home, I don't know if there's people who live alone, but that empty, when you come home, there's nobody in there. And the first 3 months was really hard, but I still didn't give up. I still worked really hard. I focused working. I was working just hard, and save money, because I really want to be an owner. And after and then in around December, I got sick again, and I had to go see a doctor. And they told me, you need to take a colonoscopy test, because I don't know if this is a cancer or something else. So you have to take the test. So I said, okay. And at the time, I had an employee, and she was giving me a lot of problems, but I just had to go. So I went to the doctor's office, and the nurse goes, you need to pay $3,000 up front for you to have the surgery. And I didn't have that money. So I told her, I can't get a surgery. I can't do a colonoscopy. I promised myself that I'm not gonna cry, but and I prayed to God for the longest time. I said, God, what did I do to you? All I did was working really hard. I didn't do anything bad. I didn't steal in my life. I didn't hurt somebody. I just worked hard, and I want to be happy. Is that too much to do? Is it why you're doing this to me? And then I went to the doctor, and the doctor was like, I can't take the test because I don't have the money. And the nurse went inside to talk with the doctor, and she goes, we could talk about it later. You need to take the test. We really have to know if you have a cancer or not. So I went in, and I went to take the test, and it wasn't a cancer, thankfully. And the doctor goes, and then we need to talk about the price. And then he goes, you know what? I will give you the 3 months of free pills, and just pay for the office visit, which is $100, and Merry Christmas. You don't have to worry about the rest. And I cried so much that in that office, I couldn't even walk. And then he said that he had a Korean adopted daughter who was same age as me, and she came to state same as the time as I came to the state. So because she was asking a lot of personal questions, and I thought, why this doctor wants too much information about me? But because I reminded of his daughter. And then, and I was working still, you know what, God doesn't want me to give up, so I'm gonna work hard. I just worked hard. And every time I save money, something pops up. My car, I have to go to ER again. I have to go to my health, because I was young, my health insurance was really higher than was not a good insurance, so I always have to pay a lot of money for every time I have a doctor visit. So I was really getting tired, because I love this job, but my finance wasn't helping me out. And then last 6 months ago, when I came to the meeting, I actually had to share a room with another operator. She told me that she had a similar situation. So the way she became an owner was she was about to cook because she needed money, but she loved the job. But the person who works next to her saw how much she loved it. He decided to lend her money and invest in her so she could open Soho. And when I heard that, I thought, God, if you really want me to do Soho, this will happen to me. Even though I'm not financially stable, I'll do well. Like I'm gonna be an owner somehow. And I was working, and then I thought to myself, I can't live like this. I've been working so hard, and I need to have ultimate, because if I don't have that, I'm just gonna keep staying where I am. So I called Ms. Hera, and I said, Ms. Hera, if you don't give me location by next year, February, I'm quitting. Because I need to make it. And she goes, now you're ready. And she and I actually cried, because even like 6 months before then, I even told her, I'm okay with being a manager for 10 years. I like the job, but I'm not sure if I could be an owner, And every meeting I go, and the owners, so when are you ready to be an owner? I hated that question because I wasn't sure at the time, but I had to make something up because I don't want to look Miss Heron bad, the fact that I don't know what I wanted to be. But then by around 6 months ago, I had to do something with my life. I had to do something. So I worked really, really, really hard, but then always something just stuck with my financial issues. And then in August, Ms. Heron offered me to open my own location. She said, I'm ready to give it to you. But then I couldn't because I didn't have enough money. And that moment, I thought, maybe God is letting me not doing Soho, because I put Soho out of everything. I put Soho in front of my health. I put Soho in front of my love relationship, my family relationship. Soho was almost like my God. And the moment when she offered me, I thought, man, am I ready to let this go? Does this God telling me that I can't do Soho because I care for, being successful is more important than God? And I went to church every morning praying. I don't know what to do. And I decided to actually quit Soho. And telling Miss Haran that quitting Soho was the hardest decision I ever made in my life, because it was my first dream that I worked so hard for. And when I told her that, I don't think I'm ready to take the location. I'm quitting in 2 weeks. And I prayed to God. I said, God, I don't know what you want me to do, but I'm putting you first out of everything. Nothing is important but you. So, and then I decided to, and then I told her that I'm giving 2 weeks notice, and Ms. Heron was so sad, but I told her I just have to move on. And a week later, I got a call from Ms. Bo saying, oh, it was such a heartbroken that when you told me that you were quitting, it broke my heart. I want to invest in you. I want to help you on your own location. And that's when I was like, and actually when I heard that, I was still 100% sure. I wasn't sure because I was so tired, because I have had a problem every single time I'm working. And then nobody knows about that story, but so I was working after I told her that I'm gonna give 2 weeks notice. I was working, and I had a customer, and she came and she wanted a braided headband, but without me even thinking, I was grabbing Aura, I was grabbing Lucy, I was grabbing hairstand, and I saw $800. And I was thinking to myself, Moonhee, you're about to quit. And then you're bought, and I was so happy. Oh my God, I made it. And I was like, I'm quitting anyway, but why am I happy? I was like, Moonhee, you're crazy. And I actually went, and I still didn't say yes to both because I wasn't sure. I didn't know I still wasn't sure. But then and then I got a call from Michael Kors that they want to interview me. And I was like, you know what, why don't I just go, just to try. And when I went to, they have an initial interview, so when you go up there, they want to see how you react with your customer. So for the first 20 minutes, you go out, you go into the store and just talk to people. And within the 20 minutes, I sold 3 purses from 1 person. And when I did that, I was proud of myself, but it wasn't the same happiness that I got from when I was working at Soho. And I called my dad, because my family was really against doing Soho. Because he saw how I changed everything. Like, you know, they saw how struggle I was. I called them every month, Mom, can you just give me some money because I can't pay this and all that. So they didn't see why I was so dedicated. And my fiance didn't want me to. No one wanted me to. But I called my dad and I said, after the interview with the Michael Kors, I said, Dad, I'm gonna do Soho. I think I'm born to do this. I'm born to do this job, so I know you're not happy, but I will show you that I'm gonna show you that this is gonna work for me. And when I told Miss Bo, and I was so happy that I was gonna do Soho. But I was still nervous, so I was praying to God. I was like, God, is this what I want to do? Or is it what God wants to do? Maybe I'm doing this because I want to do. And I was praying about it, but then after 3 days after, I had a customer who came in. She came with determined faces. She was like, Moonhee, I need to talk to you. Oh my God. And I was like, oh, what's wrong? And she came up to me and she said I prayed, and when you told me that you're gonna quit Soho, it broke my heart. Because I knew how much you loved your job. And she took out the checkbook and